Guys, he's very unhappy.
Yes. I don't understand.
So you have to be cautious of what you say.
I take very strong exception.
Anything you say can be used against you.
Who are you guys talking
in a court of competence.
I think that was your
competence jurisdiction.
Okay.
I think that was your cue.
In a court of competence jurisdiction.
I think that was it. We need a do-over for the redemption song, Charlie. You killed flowers and plants all over Ghana.
I think it was a good rendition. But we'll play it for listeners to decide. Before we go into today's news review, it's brought to you by Interplus. Wherever you are, we make sure water reaches you even in space. First Atlantic Bank, refreshingly different. Now, the First Atlantic Bank FAB has introduced a set of mobile banking applications and a USSD short code *442# for banking transactions. First, download the First Atlantic Ghana mobile app from the Google Play Store or iOS Store. Or if you don't have a smartphone, just dial *442# for all your mobile money transactions, instant fund transfers, payment of bills, purchase of airtime or data on Airtel, Tigo, MTN, Glo, Vodafone, and many more. Welcome to the Purple Experience on mobile. It's safe, secure, and very, very simple to use. First Atlantic Bank, refreshingly different. So what's the update, guys?
All right, Daniel, we've moved up to 313 cases. There's been a new case reported in the central region. It's their first case, and we've also had one more death. So as it stands now, we've had 6 deaths from the coronavirus, and figure is at 313. That's it for where we are.
All right, and now there are some global updates though that I want to bring you though. President Cyril Ramaphosa has taken action, right?
Yes. So let me give you the background to that story. The South Africa's communication minister has been suspended for 2 months. One of those 2 months will be without pay, and then she'll be paid for another month. So I'm not sure how being paid is suspension. I'll tell you why she was suspended. She was suspended for having lunch with a friend during the coronavirus lockdown. So she's been the talk of town because a photograph of her surfaced this week, and it showed, she and a friend of hers sitting at a table enjoying a meal. And also there were 4 other family members present as well. And this is a time when South Africans have been called to stay at home because they are on lockdown. It's the second week, and they're only allowed to go out and about for essential trips. And obviously, she is a government figure, and so people look up to her, and so she's been suspended.
I want to know why the restaurant allowed them to sit in the first place, but I guess maybe because she's a minister and she's influential, she's able to have her way. Her name is Stella Indabini Abrahams, and she's apologized.
Fellow South Africans, I would like to convey an apology to President Cyril Ramaphosa, the National Command Center, the South African society at large, for breaching lockdown rules put in place to cap the spread of COVID-19. I met with the President yesterday after a photo was circulated on social media showing myself at the home of Mr. Mduduzi Manana during the lockdown and social distancing period. I regret the incident and I'm deeply sorry for my actions. I hope the President and you South Africans will find it in your hearts to forgive me. The President has put me on special leave. I undertake to abide by the conditions of the leave. I wish to use this opportunity to reiterate the President's call for all of us to observe the lockdown rules. They are a necessary intervention to cap the spread of a virus that has devastated many nations. I thank you.
And the President spoke as well before her response, and he said, none of us, not least a member of the National Executive, should undermine our national effort to save lives in this very serious situation. He also said no one is above the law. That's President Cyril Ramaphosa speaking on that issue as well.
I think that's the bigger message that we should carry even beyond the COVID-19 pandemic, because no one should be above the law, and it's really the heart of this road accidents conversation that we're going to have later. The Upper West Regional Minister has made a very decisive statement about people who are arrested. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. I'll tell you about it a bit later on in the show. But the message of people abiding by our laws cannot be overemphasized.
Exactly. But you see, Cyril Ramaphosa, while we might say he's done well, he could have just made it even better by just telling that minister to go home and no longer be at post. Because you see, if somebody flouts laws, to actually prove to the whole world that you mean whatever you promised and whatever you put in place, you dismiss that person, particularly when you have the power to do so. And so I'm totally surprised that the minister is apologizing to all South Africans and saying, I've met with the president and the president is giving me punishment and all of that. The minister's punishment should have been a dismissal, a total sack, and not all of this suspension. Suspension, she comes back to do what?
Okay, but speaking on a total sack, 50 fishmongers in the Temakenu Basin have been suspended indefinitely. So they were not practicing social distance, and the authorities in that area have said, if you will not socially distance, when we've been given the privilege or we're being allowed to work, then stay at home until the virus is completely subdued. So I think that good measures and a good deterrent there with that story.
All right, so let's get into the headlines for today. And the Daily Graphic says, COVID-19 continues to bite, Easter activities on ice. And President optimistic about robust health system after COVID-19. Jealous girlfriend sets wood market ablaze. We'll get into that one.
Oh, wow.
And Ghana's judge in Cote d'Ivoire border dispute dies, comes to the photograph of Dr. Thomas Mensah. Backpage, Kumasi Central Market reopens today, and Ahomka Foundation supports Section Kumewu District with medical equipment.
All right, on the front page of The Spectator, stop Kalabule pricing, Nilante Otanka II tells traders, and restriction on social gatherings should draw Christians closer to God, as according to Prophet Uche, and it's an unusual Easter. Christians urged to remain resolute amidst crisis. And the New Crusading Guide says COVID-19 Ghana hits 313 cases. NYA donates essential items to health ministry and announced stimulus package for frontline media practitioners. That's according to Pringpag. We'll tell you a bit more about that. And Kaswa Market crammed in defiance of social distancing protocol. All right, on the back page of the Ghanaian Times, fisherfolk at Temakenu Basin clean up the beach. Togo renews collaboration with Ghana to fight against COVID-19. And on the front page, let's all join the COVID-19 fight. The clergy is urging the public. COVID-19 cases hit 313. ADB donates 200,000 to COVID-19 Trust Fund. And a story here that concerns us. GJA, 3 others petition governments over stimulus packages, of course, for journalists who are on the front line of this fight.
Let me take you online now. And the bank hospital is Mohammed's legacy. Atuforsen counters Kwekubako. That's the top story on myjoyonline.com. Don't panic over increasing COVID-19 cases. GHS urges Ghanaians. CityNewsroom.com has media houses can apply for COVID-19 money. Ochema Boaje, Member of Parliament for Bantama, Daniel Ochema Boaje. City TV to embark on COVID-19 awareness campaign with mobile vans. And Parliament's Appointments Committee to vet Okoboy next week. There is also starfm.com.gh. Trucks of food arrive in Kumasi. Spend COVID-19 funds judiciously. Ekufado to trustees. And COVID-19 Bronso water treatment plant shut down again over Galamsey. The BBC has on its Africa Live page why Kenyan MPs revealed test results. Uganda bans outdoor exercises over coronavirus. Did you see the story of the tweet of Yoweri Museveni? He says that he's going to show citizens how to exercise indoors. So he released an exercise video of himself. Yeah, that's one I can't wait for. He's over 70. Anyway, so, yeah. SA records highest coronavirus deaths in a day. And that's 5 deaths in a day. And yesterday was 100 days since China reported a strange pneumonia-like disease which started around the Wuhan fish market. Wow. Or the Wuhan seafood market. It's been exactly 100 days, and it has altered life as we
had
know it.
No idea how much life would change.
I know.
Yeah. I remember when even we started to talk about this, and it seemed so far removed, something that was happening far away.
My mind was first drawn to it when I was listening to Dr. Hadi Abdallah, our very own...
the neurosurgeon.
The neurosurgeon. On PM Express, he was speaking to Evans on a different issue, and he asked Evans for a minute to talk about coronavirus and how, if we don't take our time, this could actually take the world and the nation by a storm. It was as if he was a prophet. 100 days later, now, the entire world is defined by what COVID is doing.
New York. My heart goes out to all those of you with family and friends in New York. It's something else that's going on over there. But Winston, let's talk about church.
Well, let's talk about the church because, whenever it's Easter, and Easter is tomorrow, Easter Friday is tomorrow, and you know that all the time with Easter we always would celebrate and particularly be excited because we had, 2 or 3 holidays, or 2 holidays, Friday and Monday, and on Monday we have all the picnics. So imagine an Easter without the usual kwewu or kwewu. Imagine an Easter without Yesu Asor. And so the Daily Graphic talks about how Easter activities are currently on ice. And it's talked about the fact that, many parts in the country in the world have announced sweeping measures to deal with it. And so pastors are innovating, the churches are innovating, and this time around we'll be having the services, through the usage of social media. And so the pastors would, get into their church or maybe in their rooms and preach. I was told recently of a church that had, 25 people in the auditorium practicing social distancing so that people could see and at least have a feel of the church atmosphere. I know you're surprised. Yes, 25 members were in there, right here in this country, Ghana. But that's what COVID-19 has brought to our Easter celebrations anymore.
And Winston, I have a word this morning for everybody who's listening to us concerning this Easter, and I feel like it's really coming straight from the heart of God. And this is the word: stay at home. We know that it is Easter. We suspect that you may be tempted a little bit to stray outside of your house, maybe to gather. No, don't. Do not. What God is saying to us is stay at home. Unless you're going to buy medicine, unless you're going to buy food, we know that God is present everywhere. He is with you in your house. Where 2 or 3 are gathered, He is there. Where you alone are gathered, He is there. In quietness and in rest. Okay. You do not need to come out of your house for any reason because it's Easter. This is the word of the Lord to you.
Since we talk about knowing this is coming from the heart of God, I'm just curious because we know that God is spirit. Do spirits also have hearts so that you can tell us that what you are saying is coming from the heart?
I think spirit essentially means the essence of someone. Okay. So the essence of God. Okay. And
can we skip the theology?
But everything aside, very important.
It's a very important
very
message.
important
And I can't wait to see how inventive churches will be in having Good Friday services. I already know that for Bishop Dagwood Mills, he's having a global Good Friday service on Facebook Live and on TV. So I want to know what's happening in your church.
We're having a Zoom live worship session.
Zoom live worship.
Yeah, man.
We're going to have 100 people?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
In one, so cells. Just for a sense of community.
I'm wondering how, should I let the cat out of the bag what's happening tomorrow? No, I won't. But tell me how you're celebrating your Easter over the weekend. 0244
Okay, so I'm going to stay with this Easter story, and Prophet Uche has been speaking, and really just to the heart of what we're saying, that this time of restrictions should draw Christians closer to God. And Daniel is laughing because he can feel that I really want to reiterate that you should stay at home. So I'm going to let Winston go to the next
Yes, story. Let Winston go to the next story.
Anyway, but let's get into other stories now. And you know that the president met with some health professionals yesterday, and he said, I feel strongly that if we work in transparency and openness, we will arrive at that situation and can only be good for all of us, as he commended health workers. And he believes that what is going to happen is that after all of this, Ghana will be able to have a robust health system after COVID-19. The president expressed, surprise and worry that, 6 decades after independence, we've been exposed this way as a result of COVID-19. What he doesn't say is how he's going to go about it to ensure that he's able to build that robust health system after COVID-19.
That's a good one. So,
all right, and Daniel, my very last story here is about the GJA and 3 others who have petitioned government. So 4 media associations have jointly petitioned government to include the media in stimulus packages that have been announced. And the argument is that there are a lot of journalists who are working on the front line, reporting stories of what's going on, also spreading the information, education, and all of that. And so perhaps some help would be needed for these media houses, especially maybe because of adverts, how adverts are going to go, LPMs, maybe not as much because the economy is kind of slowing down. So perhaps if the government could consider some support. But I would like to say that thank you very much to the government for everything that they're doing. They've really shown up for us. And when I speak to a lot of people about how they feel about it, it's like, okay, we don't feel so alone. We know that the government is working. They're helping as best as we can, especially considering that we are not a rich nation.
Exactly.
We're doing pretty good. So, President Akufo-Addo, well done to you. We look forward to your exercise video as well. Perhaps
following the example of your
example. Yes.
Talking about exercise videos, you've seen that of Professor Joshua Labi. His boxing. You've not seen Joshua Labi.
Tell me about it.
So Professor Joshua Labi, former Vice Chancellor of the University of Professional Studies, Accra, he's been exercising, punching, with his boxing gloves, and it's
going at a punching bag.
Yeah, with a punching bag.
He's doing a challenge
to Sambru Butler. They should get into the ring.
Nana Sambru Butler of the mysterious
Aboncha boys. Yes. So Nana Butler says,
I had to sit up for that one.
No, he says he will sting Professor Alabi like a bee.
He will sting him
not like a butterfly.
Sting like a bee. But I thought the challenge will go to former President Mahama, or at least President Akufo-Addo.
No, but he beat him in the election rough. So he won't go there. But I haven't said that also. Let's get into the jealous girlfriend story. So we're told that fire allegedly started by a jealous girlfriend at Zamrama Wood Market at Agbobroshie has left more than 400 people in the area homeless. So the angry girlfriend, who is yet to be arrested, is said to have set fire to the house of her boyfriend, whom she accused of abandoning her and 2 other women after impregnating them and harboring another woman in his house.
So she's the advocate for the team advocate.
So let me tell you how it actually happened. Okay. So we're told last Tuesday, that's April 7th, the angry woman allegedly mobilized the 2 other women and approached the man, resulting in a confrontation during which one of the women set the room on fire and it spread to other areas, resulting in 400 people becoming homeless.
Wow, that's pretty serious. But in connection with that, Daniel, the cases of domestic violence have increased since the world has started to lock down, because a lot more people are spending a lot of time at home. So we're asking you this morning, if you're listening to us and you're at home and you're being abused, it's important that you speak up, because we know that the cases are going up because you're spending a lot of time at home. And this story is very interesting because a lot of couples are actually really struggling with the lockdown, especially those who do not go to work and are actually at home. You're having to spend a lot more time with your spouse who you may have forgotten about, all of that. But I suspect we may talk about that a little bit more tomorrow when Kojo and I do this.
Yes, and you're still live on the Super Morning Show. It's 6 minutes to the top of the hour. There's a special song request that has come through that I must deliver on. But before that, the online news review was brought to you by Zenith Bank. In your best interest and GOIL, good energy. Now, to all our valued customers, GOIL values our relationships built over the years. Let's keep ourselves free of the coronavirus disease and keep our stations safe by observing the following. Cover your mouth with tissue when you cough and dispose of the tissue immediately. Wash your hands with soap and running water, which have been provided at all our service stations, especially when you handle money. You can also use an alcohol-based sanitizer if you're not in a position to wash your hands. Maintain a minimum distance of 1.5 meters with other customers and or attendants, and let's observe these simple protocols and together defeat the COVID-19 virus. If you exhibit any symptoms, do not head to the hospital immediately. Call 055 22 22 004 or 055 22 22 005. Now, banking from home just got exciting. Here's how. Zenith Bank has waived charges on its electronic banking platforms to support you reduce your time of physical cash or your use of physical cash during these challenging times of COVID-19. So enjoy free transfer of funds and free payments from your Zenith account to any bank account via ACH and KIPS Instant Pay GIP. Bank from the safety of your home. Stay safe with Zenith Bank's digital banking products. Zenith Bank, in your best interest. So this is a special request from you know who. I'll mention the person's name later. To President Akufo-Addo.